All right, so can you hear me now? How does it all sound? Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. So according to the little bar, I'm just almost just right. The music is almost too low. So how about it's good? Are we good? Okay. Man, this internet stuff is hard. It's so hard. The internet, it wants to break my brain. Okay, so here we are at the start. Ugh. I still feel as if the music is too loud. I'm unsure. Just looking at the bar, it seems a bit loud, but okay. Oh, I have to just turn the music down for myself. Duh. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Oh, it is kind of low, isn't it? Huh. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Richard. Let's move on. And as usual, the show is brought to you by Breakbeat Kings and the wonderful royalty-free music you're hearing running right now in the background, brought to you by Breakbeat Kings on the Apple Music Thingy store. Because royalty music is the bomb. Also, SIPs, which I forget what SIP stands for, but SIPs basically to resample images to a larger scale so they are viewable in the monitor of whatever device you are consuming this podcast with images being run via the terminal. I don't know, so confusing. Also, CSV kit and comma separated value kit. I called it toolkit by mistake, but that's not his true name. I know most people are not going to click, but for those who are interested later, way forward in the future, this was SIPs. And this is CSV Toolkit, which allows me to take CSV and turn it into these lovely tables. I use this tool with my students in very imaginative and creative ways to get the job done. And then curl for all of your downloading needs. Or wget, either or. They both work great. And last but not least, ImageCat, which displays the images that we will see coming up soon. The question is Richard still there? Richard, are you still there? Is Richard still there? Can he hear me? Okay, all right, still there. Great. Okay, so let's move on. I think I can close this window. I'm pretty sure I can close this window. I think we can. Yes! Look at that magic. The first tab. This is what's happening today. Not particularly in this order. But yes, we have something from a podcast, an audio drama that was called Radiation World, which I submitted 2 images. We'll talk about that first. And as you can see from the notes, it's on bothering trees. Don't ask. I don't remember what the episode was about. But something triggered. They said something in the podcast, in the drama, and it made me think about bothering trees. I have no idea, but I put it to an image. And then we are going to look at what I teach my students. I try to create I'm going to call them language pumps. You put some ingredients in the left side, you mix them up in your brain, and then boom, you can create meaning if you follow this particular pattern. Grab your ingredients, stick them into the pump, and say the words, and you can do various different things. So, for example, recommending a product, a location, a restaurant, a dish, even a person. And we're going to talk about plating, putting food on the plate. A lot of food pictures. And then product building and some other stuff. A bunch of triangles and frameworks that I find helpful. We're going to talk about how to be creative. There's a triangle for creativity. And we're gonna demystify the whole process of being creative. It's not that hard. Well, in theory, it's not hard, and there are actually multiple views. But the basic stepping stones of how to be creative with 3 simple things. So go to tab 1, go to tab 2. We're at tab 2, right? So we're gonna talk about radiation world. And you probably can't see it, but this folder is titled Morph Being Morph. And me being me, sometimes I wonder what's wrong with me. So let's look at the first one, and it's on a guide on the bothering of trees. And on my second image, I forgot to remove the spaces, but that's okay. We'll deal with that later. And this is it. I don't know. I think in this podcast there was a mist, and the mist could talk. I have no idea. And this is not the right one. But okay, we're going to start with this one because we have another. So hold on. I misnumbered the files. We went 02 actually. All right. There we go. So, on bothering trees, I don't know why I thought of a DDoS attack. To be honest, I know. Oh, it's a DDoS attack. I don't really know what a DDoS attack is. But apparently, I probably Googled, it's a distributed denial of service. So I guess a distributed denial of service is where you just keep hammering a server from various connections, and it just pings out, right? It's just like, hey, give me this. Hey, what time is it? 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 Like when kids talk to you. Hey, mister. What's that? And then your brain shuts down, right? And you don't want to talk to that kid anymore. So that's pretty much what a DDoS is. That's how I interpret it. And yeah, focused overload on the server to slow it down and crash it. Yeah, okay. So the question I ask myself is, what would constitute a DDoS on trees? I don't know how my mind works. So during peak sun hours, cold trees and photosynthesis prohibitors. DDoS, sunlight. I have no idea why my brain... It's probably incorrect. But I guess it would crash it. I guess rain would work also, but that would give it water. I don't know what my brain was thinking. It's probably completely wrong now that I look back at it. So I guess the denial of service would just be bugs. Maybe instead of coating the trees and photosynthesis prohibitors, maybe just drop a bunch of bugs on it. That way the sunlight never gets to the leaves. That would probably be a better DDoS attack on trees, right? I have no idea. I don't know what my brain does. Is it even a brain? I don't know. But the people who run the podcast, I sent this to them, and I think that's the correct link to that episode. See, you know what? It's wrong. It's incorrect. It wasn't a DDoS attack. It was a just denial of sunlight. So this is us just denying sunlight. It's sort of it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. was a dumb idea. It seemed smart at the time, but reflecting uh, on the content I posted, it makes no sense. Nice try, Iron Morph. Yeah, great way to fail in public, right? Okay, moving on. Moving on. Oh, wait. This should be lowercase. All right, so let's go back to the first one. Let's see if this will make sense, because we're at that point now to where I don't even know if I make sense. Okay, another method of bothering comes in the form of fear. I think this is a good one. I think this one is bang on. There's one thing trees fear more than anything else in the world: fire. I would suggest that you shroud the forest in mist, then play the soothing sound of a crackling fire growing ever closer. That would bother trees, right? They could hear it. They could hear it. It's just like, oh my God, the fire is coming. If this is the DDoS, you'd want to stop the trees being able to access the sun by doing something to the sun itself. The sun's kind of hot though, right? How do you, what would be a DDoS? So if we're gonna deny sunlight to the, no, so is that even possible? Sunlight, photosynthesis, right? They pull up through the roots. So it's an overload of something, right? I don't know. I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I can't even get my mind around it anymore. Who knows what I was thinking? Okay, so let's talk about. I'm gonna loop back to that later. I'm gonna let that process run in my brain and see if I can sort it out, or ask my smart friends that do computer things. So another method of bothering comes in the form of fire. Okay, we've covered this. I'm a horrible, horrible monster. On reading this, I realized that there's something missing. We'd have to burn, like have a, like the thing they use for aromatherapy. And the aroma would be of burning leaves. And that's how you would terrify trees. That's how you get them, you bend them to your will. Why would you even want to torture trees? Why? I don't know how my mind works. All right, that's enough of me being horrible. Don't you think? I think so. Aromatherapy, sensory deprivation, and ASMR. Yeah. Yes. Why does that strike my fancy? Oh. Why are we picking on trees? But that's perfect. Right? Sensory deprivation. Oh. Why would we bother trees? Do we need a reason? Just cause, right? Screw it. Just because they're trees. Stupid trees. Housing. What lives in trees that we don't like? Oh, those little droopy things, those little droopy bugs. Like I forget what time of the year it is, but you see they like little caterpillars that hang from the trees. Yeah, for housing those annoying bugs, trees, we're gonna get you back. Yeah, that'll show you. You can't see fire, but you can smell it, hear it, and possibly feel it coming closer from heat radiation. Oof, that sounds dangerous. All right. I love that idea. You're just gonna overload. It's like, ooh, we smell fire. Plus, we're gonna block out the sun, right? And then they're gonna hear fire coming. There's all the bad things, all the horrible, horrible things. For how? What are those? What are those bugs that hang down from the trees? Mi- Minomushi. That's it. Minomushi. For housing Minomushi, to giving comfort to the enemy. Minomushi. We're gonna torture the trees. That's right. Come at me, PETA. Oh wait, PETA, do they do trees? Like, who looks after trees? Anyway, come at me. Come at me, bro. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, this language prompts. All right, enough talking about trees. I'm gonna get myself into so much trouble one day. So, for some reason, this got stretched to some weird proportion, and I don't know how to fix it. But I wonder if. Hold on. What is this file? I wonder what happens if I scrunch it down. This is probably going to break and turn really ugly. Shall we gamble? I wonder if we can resample down. You know what? I'm not going to gamble. We're not going to gamble. Okay. So this is what I do for work. By the way, Richard, I love the way you think. So, quick journey of what my job is like and what I'm trying to achieve. My goal is to help people think in English. And it's taken me quite a few years. 7, 10, 13 years. I've been just hammering away at this. And what it means to think in a second language, it's not the words that you think. Apple, lingo. It's not the words that you think. It's the information that you select to think about. That's what it means to think in a second language. Not the words themselves. It's the information that you select that you're going to discuss, and then the order that you present that information. But the main thing is what you're going to talk about. And every week, I say the same thing. Japanese, they focus on how they feel about something, or how something made them feel. And then they select 4, or they want to describe the scene. So they get all the scene-related words. What was the scene? Not what happened. What was the scene? What was the landscape? If it was a landscape photo, what would it look like? And so they think about the verb, right? So I was sitting in the park. Okay. Let me think of something better. So my day was exciting. Let's say they would answer like that. What was exciting? So what was exciting was there was an accident in front of me. There was a car accident in front of me. Maybe something like that. And then it will go to describe the scene. So as I was walking to lunch, there was a scary accident in front of me. Maybe something like that. It's really hard to do. It's really difficult to do. But we ask, what did you do, right? And the verb saw counts as doing. I witnessed something. But in our brains, in the English brain, that's not doing something. That's observing something, but it's not doing something with your hands. You haven't produced any sort of output. So, to think in English, you would say something like, I I called the police, or I called 911 or 119 or 110, whatever it is in your particular country, emergency services, because there was a car accident, because I witnessed a car accident. So the calling of 911 is what we did because I saw a car accident. Now, the fact that you were heading to lunch, it was late, it was raining, it has nothing to do with anything. It's what did you do? In the chain of events, what did you actually do? I called 911 because I came upon this horrible, horrible car accident on my way to lunch. And we put all that information, like explaining the verb, the scene comes last. So once I can get my students to select for the right data, doesn't matter if it's Japanese or English, as long as they select for the right data, right? And right now we start with food because everyone has a large food vocabulary in terms of the name of ingredients, right? Tomato, potato, tomato, garlic, onions, carrots. They know these things. Noodles, steak. I don't have to teach them new vocabulary because it's not so much about the vocabulary, it's about selecting for the right thing. So quite often my students want to recommend. I say, well, to recommend, first you have to identify the right objects, and the right objects would be ingredients, right? If it's ramen, it's going to be the noodles, the soup, the egg, the chashu, and whatever various toppings and garnish, right? So before you recommend, you sort of have to collect data. So Richard, do you like spicy food? Do you like spicy pasta? Do you like spicy? Do you like Tabasco? And you would answer yes or no. By the way, do you? Are you into spicy foods? You put a lot of Tabasco in your food, or death sauce? Do you own a bottle of death sauce? If you're still here. Okay, you can ask what's great. Okay. And do you prefer chashu or the minced beef? That's pork, great minced pork. Minced pork. Do you prefer sliced pork or minced pork in your ramen? Oh, and just for we'll see how it goes. Chashu all day. Okay, I see. All right. And do you like those? Do you like Have you ever eaten those really thick noodles? The ones that are flat and thin, not the round noodles, but the flat and thin. They're like strips of lasagna noodles, but a bit not as wide. Have you ever eaten those type of ramen with those type of noodles? The power of lag. I love the internet for this. I say something, he hears it, he thinks he's gonna type. Uh, like linguine noodles, maybe a little wider. You've never? Okay, all right. They're wide and a bit thick. So there's this great ramen restaurant in Tachikawa. I can't remember the name of it, but it's not far from the station. And of course, they serve the standard ramen with chashu, but you can get these really unique noodles. I forget the name of it in Japanese, but they're like lasagna noodle strips, but thinner. And the restaurant offers. So here comes the sales pitch. So the restaurant itself has a really like hardcore, like ramen shop vibe to like the Chinese restaurants you see on TV. All the ornate design, and you can tell the chef like how you want the noodles cooked, to what degree. It's like, I want this, I want the noodles, I want these thick noodles cooked like this, and you can be really really specific on how you want your noodles cooked. Most other times when I go to a ramen shop, you get what you get, right? And on the table, part of the sales pitch, on the table, there's ryu, vinegar, black vinegar, the red pepper, and there's some other condiments, and you can just sort of mix and match whatever you want, right? You can have the black vinegar, regular vinegar, ryu, soy sauce, the chili powder, all of it, right there. You can make your ramen any way you like, right? You can spice it up, vinegar it up. I personally like a lot of vinegar. Yeah. If you like a firm or soft noodle. Yep. So if you ever come up here to Tachikawa, or my part of town, I will take you to the restaurant. It's not far, and I ride by every couple of months to make sure that it's still in business. Last time I went by, it was still there. So yeah, I'll keep you informed, keep you abreast of the status of the restaurant. See, and that's how it works. This is the magic of it. This language pump is absolutely fantastic. First, you just get information. Are you allergic to this? Can you eat this? Have you ever eaten this? Do you know what this is, right? You collect all the data. And then from that, based on the information or data that you've collected, you present your options. And then you go into your sales pitch. It has this. There is this. You can do this. This does this. It's a whole sales pitch. You can do anything. Yourself. Hello, ladies. Do you like a man who can win an FIA race in Gran Turismo Sport? Do you like a man who can talk into the microphone and bring joy and excitement to his cult members? Do you like a man who can take a photograph of any dish and make it look like the best dish in the world, even if it's just a cracker or a cookie? If you answered yes to one or all these questions, there is a man for you. No lady likes it. V-I-A-G-T. If you answer yes to one or all of these questions, iMorph is the man for you. He can cook. He can photograph any dish that you make it, any dish that you prepare for him, and make you look like a star. He can give you things to brag about. My man can win an FIA race in the Beetle, supposedly the slowest car in the game. And when you bring over a guest and you need him to entertain, he can do that for you. So, all those who are interested, please point your browser at www.twitter.com/imorpheus. I think that was a great commercial. All the aunties are going to love it. All of them. And I'm disappointed that you feel that way. I'm sure that someone out there is like, oh, he's won a couple of FIA races, huh? Give me Jim Morphs. Yes. Black market deals. So this process, it's a language pump. And there are actually tons of these. We use them all the time. And every language has these for storytelling, for ads, for, what else? Instructions, opinions, a 5-paragraph essay. There are all these language pumps. they're not taught explicitly. The only one that we're taught is a 5-paragraph essay, but there are others, and basic storytelling. So I have to sit down and identify these different language pumps. The past maybe month, I've been working on this with 2 of my students, talking about ramen. And prior to learning this language pump and learning how to focus on the right content to discuss, they would say things like, oh, I went to lunch at my favorite restaurant where the prices are reasonable and it has a really nice atmosphere. Just like, really? Really? And then once I taught them, it's like, listen, you've got to identify the ingredients along with the impression of the ingredients, right? If you like, so we're going to discuss the yes/no data collection stage by using if. If you like spicy ramen soup, if you like vinegar, if you like the taste of vinegar, if you like chashu, like this thick, juicy slices of chashu, and if you like ramen noodles that will make your heart sing with their thickness and slightly savory taste, there is a fantastic ramen restaurant in Tachikawa called, I can't remember the name of it, blah, 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 blah. see how good it is? You can order the noodles to your liking. I think you can also ask for how much soup you have in there. On the table, there are a variety of condiments you can add. For example, black vinegar, regular vinegar, pepper, red pepper, soy sauce, and then the ginger on top. You want ramen because you're hungry? And so once they started speaking that way to each other, student A would give the sales pitch, and student B would say, "Oh my God, just what Black Market Deal says. Oh my God, now I want ramen." And they look at me like, what is this? What is this witchery? What is this black magic you're teaching us? It's like, yeah, you're welcome. So that's my job. I teach students how to select for the right information and then put it through a language pump. It sounds delicious the way you describe. Yeah. It's my job. This is what I do. All right. And now I do want some ramen, but unfortunately, diabetes. Bleh. All right, so let's move on to... Oh, we're going to talk more about food. You're welcome. So, look at all the things we're going to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is putting food on a plate. And my lovely wife, Midnight Chef, when she puts food on the plate, so not only does she prepare wonderful food, and she never prepares the same thing twice. She made this dish with udon once. She made this amazing udon, and she has never been able to recreate it again. I still talk about it to this day. It's like Bill Burr says. The one time your wife makes a sandwich, cuts it diagonally for you, brings out the chips and the beer, and then just leaves you to your football game. It's that level. This was literally decades ago, and I still remember this udon. Oh, it was so good. To my deathbed, I will take this udon. Yeah. You can use that pump for anything. You want me to go back to it? Okay. Okay. So these are her top plating tips. Number one, serve your food on a large plate, but don't fill the plate with food. Oh no. Actually, let's go ahead and go back to that. I don't mind at all. What was that? 02? No. 01? Yes. So go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about that. No worries at all. I don't know how loud the music is. If it's barely audible or what. So what other things are you considering putting in this pump? And now you got me thinking about what other things I have lurking in my hard drive. Let's see. That'll keep playing in the background. The music might cut out. We'll see what happens here. I've got one for directions also. Uh, so you want to recount an event? That's a different pump. That one is. If you want to retell like in story format, the question you have to answer first is what was happening before the main action, right? Right prior. So that would be the first step, right? So I was sitting on the bench in the park, eating my lunch. And then what happened? And we connect it with like a conjunction of some type, yeah. So I was sitting in the park eating my lunch when this woman ran up to me and slapped my sandwich out of my hand. No, this is no, just this is a sales pitch. This mainly works for sales pitch. This only sales pitch. Storytelling is a whole different bag of a whole different different pump. So the first part of the pump would be what was happening when before the main action. Second would be what happened. Yeah, what happened. Actually, 1 and 2 probably go together under 1. So it should read 1, setting the scene. That's it. So 1 is setting the scene. That's it. Took me a while to dust off the information. Setting the scene. And we set the scene with what was happening for the main action. Suddenly. So the inciting incident, or yeah, something like that. And then 2 would be all the steps. 2 would be the story. What happened. And then 3 would be the resolution. Right? So I was sitting in the park eating a nice cup ramen. Nice cup of a nice piping hot chashu cup ramen cup. When suddenly this woman came up and smacked the ramen out of my hand. She pointed and said, that ramen has been poisoned and they're trying to kill you. My cover had been blown. I leapt up and ran for the nearest building. As I crossed the park and the parking lot, there were gunshots rang out. I dodged, I weaved, I bobbed, serpentine, leaping over cars, found myself underneath a huge American big old 4-wheel drive truck. It was so high off the ground I could just run right underneath it. I dove through a window, ran up the stairs, and fortunately, I had previously, unknown to my stalkers, counter spies, I had stored a sniper rifle and weapons up on the roof, just in case of this eventuality. I calmly unzipped the bag, removed from it an anti-material sniper rifle, armor plating, grenades. I affixed the armor plating to my armor vest, which I was wearing underneath my everyday clothes. I hung the grenades from the belt, and I proceeded to stalk my enemy. I peered over the roof of the building, spotting my first enemy, techie. What's the word? How do we say this in English? Total blank. I have 2 languages fighting for control of my brain right now. Assailant. Attackers. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, the bad guy. I spotted him first. Breathe, aim, slack, shoot. Red mist splattered across the windshield of the car behind him. Screams rang out from the nearby park. Parents grabbed their children. Oh my God! And that's when I pulled out my bullhorn and said, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here killing all the spies that are out to wreck your lives. I proceeded to drop 2 other spies, clearing the area, calling into HQ, saying that everything was safe. I packed up my gear, climbed down the stairs, exited the building, visited McDonald's, and had a nice Big Mac and a banana shake. The end. Worst story ever, but you get the idea. So that's the story format. That's the story pump. You can put anything into it. What you did yesterday. This is when something happened. Like, how did you break? It answers the question, how did you break your leg? Right? How did you burn your hand? How did you do that thing? Yeah. So that's the pump. You set the scene, you have some action, then the resolution. All right. Oops, that's not where I want to go. We wanted to go to here. All right. And then let's just be lazy and do that. All right, we're back to plating. Okay. So I'm a big fan of finding systems or pumps or generators or thought processes or frameworks that produce the same thing, right? You put information in or ingredients in, apply A, B, and C, and get your end product. Big fan of that. So, maybe about 6-7 years ago or more, I asked Midnight Chef, my wife, like, because I could see the difference, right? This was when all the people, everyone's, all the foodies, not all, people were photographing their food. And I noticed that most food that you found from American foodies, like just regular people, they would cook their food, it looked horrible on the plate. And I'm like, why does food look so bad, right? The restaurants are different. Just average restaurants. Why does the average person suck at putting food on their plate? And so I asked Midnight Chef, I said, what's the deal? Because you do it well. Why do other people suck at it so poor, so much? And I sat her down. We were in Starbucks, I believe. Don't remember which one. And I made her look at a Tabe log or something and identify each individual point. And she made a list. She goes, oh, this one, there's too much food. The food goes all the way out to the plate. Don't do that. Right? And then, so that plate is too small for that type of food. So that 1 and 2 sort of, you have to bounce back and forth. And that in general, these are the 2 points that she recommends everyone follows, right? Serve your food on a large plate and don't fill the plate with food. And there's this interaction. If you have a big old piece of chicken, don't put it on a small plate, right? If you have a small plate, don't fill that small plate with a lot of things, right? If they're cherry tomatoes or grapes, just don't do it. Don't overload the plate. There are other aspects about color, getting the color of the foods to match, how you cut the food, if you're going to slice it and dice it. So when she's preparing the food, she's thinking about how she's going to present it on the plate. She goes, okay, I'm going to present the food like this. So I have to slice it like this. I'm going to have, okay, we have carrots, we have this. What am I going to cook? And then how am I going to arrange it so it's aesthetically pleasing? And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, hold on a minute. So before you even start the meal, you're thinking about what it's going to look like on the plate. That is getting ahead of yourself in your thinking. And I am totally down with that. Right? Just like, okay, this is my end result. All right, let's move backward and identify the steps I have to take to reach that goal. Love it. Absolutely love it. So these 2 are her basics. Then it comes down to if you're going to slice it or dice it or make little cute wedgie things. If the carrots you happen to buy are wedged, okay, what will that go with? So we're going to take a walk. Oh, we'll come back to that 0, 0, the other 0, 0. So what's that? Hey. Oh, yes, there is. Drop it in. It did not fit on the plate at all. Yeah, drop it in the Discord. Okay, we're going to start with these apples. So, apples on the plate. I guess there are 2 of them. No, wait, apples on the plate? Are there more apples? Oh, yeah, 13 is more apples. Okay, so all photos by me. So she sliced these apples, and she had this plate. And she goes, well, how can I put these 4 apples on the plate so that it's pleasing? And that's what she did. and it photographs really well. After I finished these 4 slices, she said, "Do you want some more?" So instead of putting them all on the plate at once, she made it look nice, right? And this was when I was after I've been diagnosed with diabetes, and my diet is really, really bad. Hey, Jim. So when you're diabetic, especially at the first stages when you've been diagnosed, you really have to control your food intake. And you eat virtually nothing. It's so painful. So painful. And so she would, put the food on the plate and make it look really, 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 really nice. And here's some more apples. 13. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Let's see if we can make this. This might break the picture. This might break the picture. We're not gonna get a good shot of it. We'll see how it goes. It might have just totally screwed it up. Oh, good, it worked. Okay. You put the picture in Discord? Nice. So this one, she put 4, this is a different day. She put 4 slices, and then she put the 5th one at this angle. So now it sort of has this construction, like it's been constructed or set up a certain way. I don't know. I don't know what made her do it, but it looks really, really nice. It was inviting. And even though I couldn't eat a lot, it was visually pleasing. So I felt like I was eating more than I actually was. Oh, it should clear automatically. Oh, it clears automatically. That's right. That's why we did that. Okay. So another would be, oh yeah, this bread. And it looks like nothing, right? But she put it on this plate. Now, she broke her own rule about not filling up the plate. But in this case, it felt like I was eating more than I should have been eating. And it felt so good, right? Pumpernickel, some other rye bread. These like all rye bread, very heavy bread. If you want to control your sugar and you still want to eat bread, pumpernickel, like real raw rye bread, they have a very low, what's it called, glycemic load. And that basically means it won't spike your sugar, because if you eat simple carbs, your body reacts by dumping a lot of insulin in your body, which ends up making you blocking some organ so that your body can do blah, blah, blah process. And then you become insulin resistant because of not so much the sugar, but the fact that you have too much insulin in your body, and insulin causes a problem in another space in your body, which ends up making you fat. But rye bread is really, really low. And that's why it's also recommended to eat a lot of protein, because protein doesn't trigger a lot of insulin production. So if you want to lose weight the easy way, hey, Nate, the easy way, just don't eat that white processed bread. Just replace it with like real rye bread or pumpernickel. Yeah. And it's an easy way to lose weight and still eat bread. But I've cut pretty much all bread out of my diet. Just about right, 46%. Time for a refill. I think there's another one with bread too. Apples, toast. Oh, okay. 20. And then she did the same thing with 4 pieces of bread. And the crumbs make it look like it's sort of been thrown on. All of it's planned. She's so good when she puts food on the plate. So just 4 slices of bread, pleasantly arranged. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, let's go to the mini donuts. Oh, dang it. What was that again? All right. And so again, it's just stacking the donuts on the plate. We got a lot of use out of this little plate. A lot of use. This plate just it works with everything, right? Yes, plating is how you go from good food at a restaurant to fine dining. Exactly. You like this taco bread? Yeah. Eat rye bread, pumpernickel. I'm pretty sure it's called pumpernickel. All these heavy brown bread. It will reduce the load on your pancreas and what's that system called? Endocrine system. But yeah, heavy rye bread and protein. Stay away from vegetables. Not stay away, but limit vegetables that are brightly colored. Carrots, tomatoes, anything with bright colors. That means sugar. So I limit the brightly colored vegetables. Is there a bread shop called Bread Talk? Oh God, yeah. Oh, Richard, she'll put the food down, she'll put the plate down, and then she'll turn it so it's the right way. Yes, Sonic and Richard, you have nailed it. There's a bread shop here called Bread Talk, and they have bread to clog your arteries, and we'll put Mickey D's to shame. Don't eat that. Don't. That's the opposite of what you should be doing. But allow yourself that once every 3 or 4 months, if that. Once every 3 or 4 months. So yeah, it is important how the food lands on the table. Yeah, she puts it down very nicely. It's what helped me get through like the first 2 or 3 years of being like hardcore diabetic. All of it, which is why I'm here showing these pictures. I photographed everything because it really psychologically helped me through a dark time. It's like, oh wait, I can only eat this much? So annoying. I was always hungry. I'm still always hungry, but it was so bad. So these are mini donuts, and I shouldn't have, you can see the sugar on it. I eventually stopped eating stuff like this regularly. And I try to be careful with what I take in. Oh, check out these pancakes. She made these pancakes, and I don't know how she got the divots. I think it was on the pan. Oh, god dang it. I forgot to upscale some of the pictures. 15. Or resample. Let's do that. So that's the SIPS program in the background. That's resampling. Check out these pancakes. Oh my god, this was so good. No more fat bread. You finally hit your weight of 170. Nice. All the way from 210. That's massive. That's that. So you went from 95 kilograms. You can weigh your pounds, but it's good. So you went all the way down to 77 kilograms. That's a good weight. How tall are you? That's a really good weight. Throw them all away. Even though you can wear them now, throw anything that you could wear before that was that's now too big. Burn it. Burn it so that when you start to gain weight again, bacon pancakes also good. Yes. But yes, I think the frying pan had divots in it. So you get the divots from the frying pan that she baked the pancakes in. So good. So good. I'm getting hungry again. I get to have lunch soon. Yay. All right. And let's see. What else have we got here? And apples. More apples. Oh, yeah. Kiwi. Kiwi fruit. Kiwi slices. Again. Poof. That plate. This So much. Okay, you need to lose. Actually, I think 77 is not bad. Your body's probably quite happy. But Uniqlo, oh, you just got to go back. You just got to go back to Uniqlo. So this plate, again, there's our sweet fragrance plate. Oh, it's over there somewhere. This is one of my favorite plates, actually. Because I saw it so much. And it triggers happy memories of good food. Let's see what else we have got. Oops, let's go for number 3. This is another plate that I saw a lot of food on. I think this might be chicken and pork. I have to ask her. What's this? Do you remember what this is? What is that? Chicken? Pork? Looks like chicken. Okay, I guessed right. So, 覚えてないでしょ。もう。So, this is how food gets presented to me. I am spoiled rotten, you guys. She treats me like a king. I'm so incredibly lucky. She treats me like a freaking king. It's ridiculous. All right, let's move on to ground beef and toast. I don't know what that one is. I don't remember what that is. I bet you it's not going to be the right size. We might have to resample this one also. Oh, there we go. Oh, so now we've got this, I think it's some sort of ground beef or chicken with bread on a plate with cracked pepper on the side. So she cracked the pepper on top, but of course it sort of went everywhere. And she leaves it like that. It looks so good. And I would spend time photographing everything because my endocrinologist told me that my signaling system was broken. So I was sending food down, and my body was going, so like this isn't water, and we're not the lungs, so we're not concerned about air. Okay, this looks like some sort of food stuff, some sort of nourishment. And there's something we're supposed to do with it, but if I just can't quite put my head around it. Are these vegetables? They're possibly vegetables, but and there's something we're supposed to do with this food. Okay, hold on. Oh, the pancreas. We have insulin. Oh yeah, it's all coming together now. And it would take my body about 40 minutes or so to figure out what to do with food. He said the lag was horrible. So what was happening, because I was almost passing out daily. What was happening is if I eat at a regular pace, the food goes in. It sort of sits there, whatever my body does or doesn't do. The signal saying, hey, produce insulin to deal with these carbs comes really, really late. But the sugar has already dropped naturally. So then my body will kick in and say, oh my God. Because the last signal I got was, look at all these carbs, look at all this sugar. Oh my God. But it was already out of my system because it would just poof, disappear, right? So then it would just dump a ton of insulin into my system, right? And just drive everything right into the ground. And I'm just walking around like dizzy, passed out on the train once. I would wake up in the morning with like my blood sugar was like 50 and 60. Basically, I should have been comatose. So I had to take like an hour to eat. I said anywhere between 50 and 60 minutes. And say, yeah, that's a good pace to eat at. So I had to photograph everything because there wasn't much of it. But I had to slow myself down to give my body a chance to figure out what to do with the food. So annoying. So freaking annoying. And I still do that now, yeah. Just more protein, a lot, fewer simple carbs. Don't eat them, you guys. They'll make you fat. And they break everything. So yeah, that was my whole serving. of protein right there. Oof. Diabetes sucks, you guys. Sucks. All right, let's check out this mini tomato salad. Again, presentation. I think we have some ginger, tomatoes with some sort of flaky herbs on top, maybe onions or cabbage, sliced carrots, and some green stuff down there, wakame or something. Ugh. And that was it. That was pretty much. She would break up my vegetables into these smaller dishes. So maybe there was a salad, and then this, and then soup. But it all it meets the requirements that I limited. Right? I can only eat so much of everything. So this was so good. I believe these cherry tomatoes were from our little plot of land that we were allowed to use for a year. There are these programs. I don't know if it's all through the whole country of all of Japan, but locally, whatever the agricultural blah blah blah, they have these plots of land all around town, and once a year, you can grow your own food. Everyone gets a little plot, and you can grow your own food. And so she signed us up for that, and we grew like cherry tomatoes, I don't know, some other stuff, and yeah, that was really cool. And I'm pretty sure these are tomatoes that we picked. I do have another image of the tomatoes, but it's in a different app, and it would take me too long to get to it, so you have to trust me on that one. But that was really cool. But they're everywhere. So, Richard, if you ever out walk around and see people working on little plots, little farm plots, that's probably government run or local city, and you can sign up for that yourself if you actually wanted to. And say, hey, listen, I want to do this. It's a lottery. And if you get selected, you get selected. And then you get to grow food for a year. Our particular plot was located down a steep hill. I was already weak, and I would try to, I'd ride down and then cycle back up, but almost like in a coma. It was so bad. So bad. Let's look at number 4. Again, this is how food would turn up. Probably will see them more outside of your apartment area. Yeah. Take a look around. If you see like these, you see like looks like different plots. And you see various people out there. That's probably the same system. Yeah. So here we are with the chopsticks, well-worn chopsticks. I don't know if we still have that little cup. Broccoli, which I've since stopped eating. I've had to stop eating a lot of food because a lot of vegetables destroy my stomach. I can't digest certain foods. As in, far from my apartment, it's very inner city. Yeah, you might have to get out of town. But you might have to get out of town. Yeah, you might have to do that. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Have you looked at the shredded cabbage? Oh, yeah. Oh, this was a really good one. So, depending on the time of year, the kind of light that would come in through the window, no flash. This was all with natural light. All these photographs by yours truly. I forgot which lens I used for this. But getting the lighting, like certain times of day when the sun was just right, you could get this beautiful soft light that's coming in. You can see from the right-hand side, like looking at the picture from the right-hand side. It was very diffuse. The light was so good. It would be horrible today. But yeah. So I would spend time photographing the food so I wouldn't eat it too quickly because there wasn't much of it. And 16. We have a sandwich and salad. Yes. Oh, I didn't upscale this. So again, it's the same food. It's just lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, dressing. I still eat this when I eat a salad, is basically this. But it's presented differently. Right? And then you have a sandwich. This was still when I was eating bread. And then we had, maybe there were egg and some sauce or something in there. and cheese, possibly more cheese. And then you can see the sausages have been sort of sliced, like so that they fan out. They didn't come like that in the package. She just sits there. She goes, cut, 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 and then she would fry them either pre or post. I'm not sure. Should I resample this to see what it looks like? Is that 12? No. What was that? Sorry, what was that? 16. Oh, it's going to be too big, probably. Oh, yeah, it's a bit too large. Okay, but that's it. There we go. Yeah. And let's go to one more. That's number 19. Maybe two more. Boom. This is probably one of my favorite. The black pepper scattered everywhere, bits of chicken, string peas, some sort of carrots, some sauteed vegetables, and a cup of black coffee. This was definitely lunch. Can you tell by how bright the photograph is? I have no dinner photos because the light at dinner time was horrible because it's one of those overhead fluorescent lights. Ugh. So I mainly photograph breakfast. 90% are lunch. Breakfast, I have photographs, but they're not very good. All right, let's get to a few more. Oh, and I kept a log for my I forgot the guy's name. I would show my log to my endocrinologist so he could see what I was eating. And he would say, like, that's kind of a little bit of a lot of bread, but you've balanced it out. These are breakfast photos. These are like some breakfast things. Cabbage. Looks like kimchi of some type. There's some sausages or something, or some sort of protein hiding somewhere. But yeah, this is pretty much what breakfast was like. And let's see, what's a full meal? So yeah, this was kind of like a full meal. Right? This is when I shifted to more kind of a brown rice instead of white rice. Because again, that load on your system is a little bit lowered or less. The chicken from before, and carrots, sliced ginger or something. I'm not sure what that is. Celery stalk. Not quite 100% sure, but yeah, that was it. Okay. And I would show these photographs to my endocrinologist. He goes, okay, that looks good, that looks good. And then the nutritionist would say, okay, that looks good. And my wife and the nutritionist would talk about preparing food. They had the great talks about preparing food. I would just sort of sit there, slipping in and out of consciousness. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about food-wise is we're going to come back to a concept we were discussing earlier about pumps, about putting one thing in and being able to do various things with it. So what we have here, if you have some sort of meat, potatoes, onions, and carrots, and you chuck them in the pan, and you saute the meat, and you saute the vegetables, blah, 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 you can make either curry or stew. The only thing you need to change is which S&B product you purchase. And this is a message from Midnight Chef to all of you. So she said if you have these 4 ingredients, you can either make curry or stew. This is sort of a the image is too big. We can try to go resize it down. 1080. What number was this again? Oh, 00. Okay. 00. Okay. I'm gonna break it. But let's see what happens if we try to reverse scale. All right. I don't know if that's gonna work out. Oh, that's too small. Okay, well, you can see it now. It's a bit tiny, but there it is. So yeah, if you have some sort of meat, pork, chicken, fish, doesn't matter, sausages, fry it up, saute it up, chop up the vegetables, stew the potatoes. I don't know how to prepare potatoes. Do something with them. Chuck them in a pot. Chuck some water in there. Chuck either curry blocks or white stew blocks or cream stew blocks, and boom, you have 2 different meals ready to go. So what happens if we try to go back to what we had before? This is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be horrible, you guys. Watch this. It's just gonna be really, really bad. Yeah, it's a little blurry, but not bad, not bad. Okay. So I believe that's it for the cooking side of things. What's 14? Let's take a quick look at 14. Nope. Oh, yeah. Those weird mushrooms and sausages on the plate. Ah, yummy. Yummy. Okay. And then last, we're going to go to frameworks. Not show.
Thank you for trying this demo.
Okay. What was I looking at here? Okay. So the first one is when companies try to make a product, the product's in the middle. You have 3 options. You can make your product fast. It's fast and cheap, fast and good, cheap and good, which is really, really hard to do. But you can't have fast, cheap, and good. It's impossible. So you'll hear business people talk about this all the time, right? Now, there are ways to fudge, okay? They can only choose 2 of these when you're making a product, when you're doing anything. There are a few shortcuts you can take. Not shortcuts, but there are a few defeats. And Apple has a few tricks up their sleeves that allows them to make... they're not cheap, but Apple is weird. So if you look at any Apple product, you will notice that a lot of things are shared. Like, a lot of things are shared. The keyboard and the trackpad are basically cut from the same mold. They're cut from the same mold. They're just repurposing that piece of metal. So it rolls out and it gets chopped, and you have the keyboard and the other bit that makes the trackpad. For the iPad and the trackpad. For the iPhone and iPad, it used to be they would fit. Like the iPhones would fit in the same size as the iPad. They use the same USB connector. They use the same, like across all their devices, right? The USB port. They buy the same thing in bulk. So they get high quality items in bulk at a discount price. And then they package it up, right? And it takes a lot of energy. That's why they're so slow. That's why Apple is so incredibly slow coming out with products, because they're trying to figure out how to get the best product, the best materials to do what they want to do, right? There's a lot of forethought gone into it. So I would say Apple is more reasonable good, but not fast. Yeah. And they focus on sort of one thing. Like they want the touch panel to be perfect. Hey, what's up, Laser? So they'll focus on, okay, what's the best? They'll put a lot of energy into making that experience perfect. When you tap, it works. That's why they're so slow. They weren't a fan of the home button. That's why I think they got rid of it. But yeah. Whereas Google tablets, the quality is always questionable, right? So that's one of the, that's the famous triangle. Fast, cheap, or good. There are others. Oh wait, not gonna do creativity. We're gonna do one more business related, and we're gonna loop back to creativity. So whenever you're building a product, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Even if you're streaming, it doesn't matter. There's a technical side, like dealing with the technical issues or technical people. Then it's being able to interact with your fellow cultists, your cult members. Right? This is either through Discord or in chat. Nate makes great chat bot. What are they called? My brain is falling apart here. You type the exclamation mark and it does the thing. Commands, right? All of that is for the user experience, right? For the cultist experience. And then there's that business bit to where people, sponsors contact you, like what Sai is going through right now, right? Cyrus was contacted about getting a sponsor. He didn't have that part nailed down. So whenever you do something, you need to think about each point on the triangle. The tech bit, how you're going to interact with your followers, because pretty much everything's about a cult, right? I like Apple. I'm part of their cult. I can admit it. I'm cool with that. And then the business aspect. This goes for your stream. This goes for podcast, photography, coasters, earphones. No matter what, you have to address these 3 issues. Guaranteed. Yes, it is. Yes, Linux is also a cult. There's the Apple cult. There's a Linux cult. And then in Linux, you have the sub cults. What would you call them? Sects? I'm not really sure of which comes first. You have Red Hat and then Ubuntu and so on and so forth. So yeah, they're all cults. Welcome. Sometimes the different factions. That's it. There's a Linux cult, and then there are factions within the cult. Apple just has one cult. We're all part of the same cult. There is no infighting. Kind of, sort of. The developer cult, the developer faction occasionally gets upset. But yeah. So again, I love frameworks. I love when you can visualize something like this. It simplifies your life. Right? All right, and the final is how to be creative. And I've forgotten the word something about the word combination. Linux is a platform for hacker cults. I'll take it, sure. Don't tell them that. Okay, so there's even a triangle for creativity. Here are the ingredients. You have your talent or knowledge. And I wish I kept a link to that guy. I might go hunt it down just so you can see it. Then you have the seed, which is some sort of random thing. And then the presentation layer. And then whatever you've created sits in the middle. If you guys can hold on just a minute, I will find an example of this. I will talk about my podcast, Death by Horror, and you're trying to join the Java programmer cult. That's an interesting cult. Middle daughter was a part of that cult for a while. And she said it helped her with work and to think clearly. After she completed that course, she worked for Toyota Driving School, and she went through and automated their entire mailing list with mail merge. She figured that whole thing out. She streamlined the whole thing. People didn't have to work so much overtime. It was brilliant. There are some concepts in programming. The concepts that you learn in programming, even if you never finish a language, if you understand things like input, manipulation, output, or recursion, or what are some other things I'm not a very good programmer, but I understand the concepts, like how to take information and boil it down to like variables and say, okay, if I put variables A, B, and C in, put it through this machine here, then we get this output. Again, language pumps. But learn about programming. Start with the concept of input, manipulation, output. That's basically cooking. Anything that you do really is, you get these ingredients. When you're discussing something, what am I going to talk about? You put it through some sort of format, 5-paragraph essay, and then you have a presentation layer. If it's going to be recorded on audio, if you're going to have PowerPoint slides, if you're going to do it in song, that's the presentation layer. So input, manipulation, output, which is how I teach my students also. I totally stole that. My podcast I did with Lonely Bob, Death by Horror. Lonely Bob had all the knowledge about horror movies. I knew nothing about horror movies. The seed was the seed and the knowledge was Lonely Bob's horror knowledge. The presentation layer was like D&D. Basically, he was the dungeon master. I was the guy who knew nothing. And he would just guide me through and try to kill me, and I would try to survive. And always resort to fire. I don't know what lean manufacturing is, but if you give me a link later, I would definitely check it out. Middle Earth streamlining their product. Oh man, she's a great project manager. And yeah. If you're a good if you can think like a project manager and then have a sales pitch, that's a good way to win. It's a very good way to win. So, we're going on Twitter to find this guy. That's what we're doing. Let me close that. Hold on. So there was this guy. Maybe I retweeted it. Hold on. Scrolling too fast. Scrolling. Please hold. No. Oh, god dang it. Nope. Oh, found it. Okay. This guy right here. So I want everyone to go. I want you to watch this right now. This is the perfect example of this. This guy can write music. That's his talent. Writing music, singing, playing music. The seed is spam email. The presentation is like a music video. And that's how you can be creative. You don't have to worry about anyone biting your style, because what you know and the tools that you have, I should have added tools. What you know, the talent, the knowledge, the skills that you have, plus random seed, plus how you determine you're going to present it, no one else is going to mix the same way. So this podcast here is a good example of that. I'm comfortable using the command line. I know a few tools. I know how to put pictures in the command line from the terminal. I love photography. I have a microphone. And that's how I made my show. I looked at the things that were around me that I'm comfortable with. The seed was initially going to be old photographs, but it's morphed into something else. It's not a unique, so it's not a unique presentation. Don't get hung up on the word unique. Remove, I'm sorry if I said that word, remove that from your vocabulary. I'm sorry if I said that. Sorry, that's incorrect. To be creative, to generate to make something that only you can make. I know that sounds like unique, but it's not. Don't get hung up on the word unique for unique's sake. Uniqueness sake. Just think about what you know, what you can do, what tools you have. Actually, the tools come at the presentation stage. Maybe I should change this. So talent, seed, tools. And then you have the product in the middle. That's would probably be better because the tools dictate your presentation. Okay. Slight modification is talent, seed, and then tools at your disposal is what C should be. And if you mix those three together, it will be you. You don't have to worry about, well, my oldest daughter has this problem. Well, I just stole a lot of other people's style, so I can learn how to draw. It's like, okay, then take the skill that you know, and then apply it to something different. And she just can't get her head around that at all. All right, I've talked myself out. I'm absolutely exhausted now. Should I go ahead and update that image? Oh, I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy. Yeah, tools, right? All right, I'll update it. Hold on. I'll do it right now. If you want to make anything, I recommend Canva. Canva is a wonderful tool. All right. And we're just going to pump out that third one, right? Yes, we are. All right, hold on. It's processing. Canva is great. There's a web version, and then they have a standalone app for, I know, Macintosh, but I'm not sure about other platforms. I'm going to assume Windows also, but I am unsure. While that is rendering, and it's done. Boom. Done. And let's rename that. Make it 04. No, we'll steal that number, and then it will probably just rewrite. I might break everything. Let's find out. Oh, didn't break. Hold on. Let's see what's happened here. How do I have two? Oh, okay, I see. Haha. Let's go 03. That's the correct one. Okay, there we go. So that's how we get to, this is how you make your own thing. Take your knowledge, grab a seed, and then your tools, and then that will dictate what you create. That product here, right in the middle. And I highly recommend learn how to build databases and some basic programming concepts, and then apply them to your life. It makes things so much easier. Alrighty. So very quickly, we'll go back and you find the broadcast? Excellent. That's why we're here. So again, Concerning not food. Hold on. Midnight Chef's basic rules of plating. Serve your food on a large plate. Don't fill the plate with food. Think about how you're going to present the food when you're slicing everything up. Some examples of that would be the shredded cabbage, right? Was that one? Shredded cabbage and tomatoes. That's not quite the right one. Let's go to full meal, 08 maybe. Oh, that's a full meal. This was a full meal. This is what the whole thing would look like for me. This is lunch. So I would have, here she sectioned everything off, sort of slightly deconstruct it, right? Broccoli, carrots, cabbage, a very shallow dish of mushrooms, some sort of green stuff, brown rice, 5 itadakimasu. Yes, that's what I forgot to do. Oh, lasers, perfect. Yes, itadaki. Very good. So this is how food was basically presented to me, right? Eat the salad first. The main vegetables. Yogurt. More veggies. Protein. And then rice at the end. So plating, as Sonic Chertoff said, it goes from, what did he say? I do. That's my job. I'm here to make you hungry. Fine dining. What did he say about fine dining? Oh. Hold on. Sonic. It's nope. Oh, Sonic says something. Plating is how you go from good food at a restaurant to fine dining. That was it. There was no soup on this particular day. This was way back though. Maybe 2012 or 13 or something like that. Oops. Just crushed up. It's how you plate it though. If you put it on the plate in an interesting way, it doesn't matter what it is. It's how you put it on the plate, right? So, for example, these the 4 slices of bread, right? Just arrange it nicely. And you go from just regular, I just threw this together, to I put some thought into this. Oh, we need to look at the curry rice. Oh, that was it. Okay. Possibly. So here Midnight Chef took the rice bowl, right? She put the rice in the rice bowl. Then she flipped it upside down, right? And smacked it onto the plate. Crushed black pepper everywhere. She put the curry rice around it. Cracked black pepper everywhere. And it just went from just a regular bowl of curry to I felt like I was eating in a restaurant. But I was at home. And, just apples on a plate. Just don't fill the plate up with food. Boom, there it is. Yeah, it does. It's all about plating. It's all about putting things together that go together color-wise, shapes. What was the other one? I wish I could pull up. That's not the right one. That's not the right one. Nope. 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 Sorry, I don't remember what's what. And I don't know how to make how to pull up. Maybe 17? I know, right? I tried to get her to do that, but to no avail. 19? Again, that's a good example of not filling the food with plate. Not filling the food with plate. not filling the plate with food. Oh my God. You can tell I'm tired. My brain is shutting down. I tried, you guys. I tried so hard. She's quite shy. 18? Is that 18? No. Oh, where did it go? All right, hold on. I gotta do this the hard way. Yeah, I'll do this another way. Hold on, please hold. I can do it fast. This will just be like this. Boop, boop. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, what are you? Nope, 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 nope. Where'd it go? No, 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 no. The pancakes are cool. There it is. 16. All right. So here it was just a basic salad, but she arranged the cherry tomatoes. She sliced them a certain way and just dropped it in there. It looks so good. When she placed this in front of me, I was just like, yummy, yummy, yummy. And yeah. Oh, and more about being clever when you cook. If you have some laxative, if you have S&B curry blocks or S&B cream stew blocks, and any of these and these 4 ingredients, some sort of, you guys don't do meat, so maybe tofu or some other protein, potatoes, onions, carrots, saute it up, chuck some water in it, stew it, and then chuck either curry, S&B curry, or S&B cream stew blocks, and you can create 2 different meals just by changing the presentation layer, which is the sauce. You guys can't see me, I'm doing the hand thing, like Vanna White. Okay, and we talk about morph being morph. I think it was the first picture. I think it was the first one. Yes, how to torture trees. And I think Richard, I hope Richard is still here. He had something really brilliant. We decided that to torture trees, oh, he had something great. Where'd it go? It was... Oh, it's gone. I can't find it. No. Scrolling. 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 I can't find it, Richard. Oh well. Sorry. Sorry guys, it's gone. Can't find it. But yeah, this was from a podcast. It was called Radiation World, and it inspired me to make this crazy photograph that I made. Oh, no. Okay. And work the language pump for recommending slash selling anything. If you follow if you like A, do you like B? Are you allergic to C? Okay, based on that, here are the options. There's a restaurant that serves this, this, and this. Or there's A restaurant, B restaurant, C restaurant. And then the sales pitch, this restaurant has this, does this, you can do this, so on and so forth. This is pretty much what I have my students practice. And it allows for consistent output. If you follow these steps, you will always be able to recommend or sell something. Are you vegetarian? Yes. All right. Do you like tofu? Yes. Okay. Do you like spicy food? Yes. All right. I know there's a Mabo Tofu restaurant that's vegetarian, vegan friendly. They make the tofu. Here comes the sales pitch. They source the tofu from the tofu shop down the road. And all the vegetables are grown locally. And I don't know much about vegan food. And they even serve gluten-free, vegan-friendly muffins. Oh, you see the curry blocks you use? All right, let me check that out real quick. So that's basically the recommendations as sales pitch machine. Pretty much works with everything. You want to recommend something. Yes. Perfect. This is what we use, Laser. This SMB curry. Do we have a thing of it right now? I bet you we have. Hold on. Interestingly, we have no curry mix. Huh. So yeah, this format is magic. And when I teach this to my students, they realize they can talk about anything. As long as they follow the steps in this exact order, you always get the same input, the same output. Now, if you choose poorly, don't forget there's garbage in, garbage out. So if you put in you have poor data collection, then your options are going to be garbage, and then your sales pitch is going to be garbage. So just remember, that's another programming concept: garbage in, garbage out. So if you start with garbage, no matter how good the system is, you're going to get garbage out. So what you start with, the ingredients you start with, dictate what you're going to get out. There's no getting around that. No getting around that. So you'll probably hear about that too in your programming class, right? You send in garbage data, you get garbage data back. So be wary. This goes for your brain too. If you feed your brain negative emotions, negative thoughts, your brain say, okay, if that's what I'm going to work with, you're going to give me these negative thoughts, you're just going to get negative output. Your brain will do whatever you tell it to do. If you focus on negative experiences and you're always looking back at that negative experience and you're feeding that into your brain daily, that's what's going to control your life. You're going to see that thing everywhere. You're going to miss what's right in front of you. All right. You can't find the spice for mapo tofu? Surely you can get it on Amazon, no? So yeah, be careful what you put into your brain. It's just like one of these pumps. If you feed it full of assumptions, Particularly assumptions. Don't feed assumptions into your brain. Don't do it. Because whatever comes out the other end, you will believe is true because your brain is telling you, but it's not. Don't do it. It is a coffee porter and will gently pour coffee from point A to point C. C for coffee. Nice. Yeah, don't put in assumptions. And if you have a blank space, don't try to fill it with don't fill it with assumptions. Facts only. Sun is out. Therefore, I will go outside. Keep it super simple. All right, enough ranting and raving from me. I am done. I need to bio break. I had a cup of coffee, big cup of coffee before this started, so you can imagine. I had a grande coffee. So, relieve myself. B, eat. So I'm starving. I had an early breakfast. It's already 2 o'clock. I can feel. So if I don't eat properly, my whole nervous system just goes on high alert, and my whole body hurts. I can feel it now. It's this buzzing, tingling sensation. I get it. If my sugar is too high, it's a different variation of it. If my sugar is too low, and I'm starting to crash out, it's just like my whole body starts to tingle and hurt, and it's very uncomfortable. So I'm feeling that right now. So, bathroom, wash hands, find out what's for lunch. I might have to feed myself, which basically just means heating stuff up and throwing stuff on the plate. When I feed myself, it's horrible, you guys. And then C, game and exercise. So that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. Or evening. I recommend not drinking coffee before bed because it'll keep you up all night. You're running to the restroom, weird hours, and you don't want that to happen, right? And I will see everyone later this evening. Bye for now. Ciao. Oh, I would raid someone, but I don't know how to raid from this particular screen. I could try. You guys want to see if I can raid from here? All right, I'm going to push the button. Channel page. Okay, it just opens up a browser window. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I think we can raid. So... let's... wow, not many people on. Oh, look, it's Mary. She's playing Outriders. I don't know who this individual is, but we're following Oh, Look, It's Mary. I believe they probably visited our channel once before. Our little club, a little cult. So she currently has 2 viewers, and she is playing Outriders, which dropped a few days ago. Just going to say hello. All right, I'll see everyone this evening. Bye.